You open an app, a little red number sits on the icon, you tap it. Before you even decide to, your thumb moved on its own. That was not an accident. Right now, without realizing it, you are inside a game. You did not download it. You did not agree to the terms. You did not choose the rules, but every hour of every day you are playing it, and the house always knows your next move before you do. Here is the part that should unsettle you. The game was not built for your phone. It was built for your brain. And it has been running for a very long time. In the 1950s, a psychologist named B.F. Skinner put a rat in a box. The rat could press a lever and receive a food pellet, simple enough. But Skinner changed one variable and everything changed with it. Instead of rewarding every press, he made the reward random. Sometimes the lever paid out. Sometimes it did not. The rat did not stop pressing. The rat pressed more, faster. With a kind of frantic urgency that looked, to anyone watching, less like hunger and more like desperation. Skinner called it variable ratio reinforcement. You know it by another name. You call it scrolling. Every time you pull down on your feed and watch it refresh, you are pressing Skinner's lever. Every notification ping is a potential pellet. Every like, every reply, every new message is a reward that might come or might not. And your brain, 3 pounds of ancient biology sitting behind your eyes, responds exactly the way the rat did. It does not get bored. It does not stop. It escalates. This is not a metaphor. This is neuroscience. In 2012, researchers at MIT published findings showing that dopamine, the chemical your brain releases during reward, is not triggered by the reward itself. It is triggered by the anticipation of the reward, the moment just before, the uncertainty. Your brain lights up brightest not when you get the thing, but when you might get the thing. Think about what that means for your morning routine. You wake up. Before your eyes fully open, your hand has already found your phone. You are not looking for something specific. You are not even sure what you want. You are running the lever. You are chasing the might. The people who designed these systems knew exactly what they were doing. In 2017, a former president of Facebook, named Sean Parker, said in an interview that the platform was built to exploit a vulnerability in human psychology. His words, not a critic's. A vulnerability. He used that word deliberately, because the game is not neutral. It was engineered. But here is where the story gets stranger. Here is where the reframe begins. The game did not start with Silicon Valley. It did not start with Skinner's box. It started with you, with the version of you that lived 30,000 years ago, shivering in the dark, trying to stay alive. Your ancestors were reward hunters. That was not a flaw in their design. It was the design. The brain that obsessively scanned the environment for signals, that never fully relaxed, that always asked what might be around the next bend, that brain survived. The calm brain, the satisfied brain, the brain that said enough and lay down in the tall grass, that brain got eaten. Curiosity kept you alive. Vigilance kept you alive. The restless hunger for more, for new, for the next possible reward, that was not weakness. That was the winning strategy for 100,000 years. Anthropologist Pascal Boyer, in his research on cognitive evolution, describes the human mind as a hypersensitive pattern detector. Your brain evolved to find meaning in noise, to see faces in clouds, to treat every rustle in the undergrowth as a potential threat or opportunity. It could not afford to be wrong. Missing a real tiger cost you your life. Seeing a fake tiger in a shadow cost you nothing but a second of adrenaline. So your brain erred toward signal, toward alert, toward more. Now you live in a world with no tigers. But your brain does not know that. Your brain is still scanning, still hunting, still pressing the lever. And the architects of the modern information environment studied that brain the way a locksmith studies a lock, not to protect it, but to open it. Tristan Harris, a former design ethicist at Google, described the phone as a slot machine in your pocket. He was not speaking loosely. The structural parallels are precise. Variable rewards delivered at unpredictable intervals. An interface designed to maximize time on device. a feedback loop engineered to feel like connection while producing isolation. Harris spent years inside the industry watching these systems be built. He left to warn you. But warning you is not the same as explaining why it works so well. It works because the game is not fighting against your nature. It is running on your nature like software on hardware. The compulsion you feel is not a bug someone introduced into your psychology. It is the oldest code you have. It is the code that kept your great-great-grandmother alive long enough to have children. The game did not create the hunger. It just found the hunger and fed it synthetic food forever, with no nutritional value and no end. Think about the last time you finished a day and felt satisfied. Not stimulated, not scrolled out and half numb. Satisfied. The kind of satisfaction that comes from doing something hard, or making something real, or saying something honest to someone who mattered. That satisfaction is also dopamine. But it is a different delivery system. It is slow. It requires patience. It requires you to lose before you can win. It does not fit in a notification. The modern game optimizes for speed, for frequency, for the shortest possible path between want and partial reward. It gives you just enough to keep you playing, never enough to make you stop. Psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi spent decades studying what he called flow, the state of deep engagement where a person is fully absorbed in a challenging task, not distracted, not scrolling, absorbed. He found that humans are measurably happiest in that state, not in leisure, not in passive consumption, in the friction of a hard thing slowly yielding. The game you are playing has no flow. It has the appearance of engagement without the substance. It gives you the dopamine without the difficulty. And difficulty, it turns out, is the part that matters. Difficulty is what your brain was built to process. Easy rewards, delivered endlessly, do not satisfy the old code. They just keep it running. You are not broken for finding it hard to put the phone down. You are not weak. You are simply a creature built for a specific kind of world, dropped into a different one, playing a game whose rules you never read, and whose architects designed the exit to be invisible. The exit is not invisible to you anymore. You know the lever now. You know what the lever is doing, and why it works, and how long it has worked, and who benefits from you pressing it. That knowledge does not automatically change the behavior. Knowing a trap is a trap does not always make you step around it, but it changes the relationship. You are no longer just pressing the lever. You are watching yourself press the lever, and that gap, the tiny, almost unbearable gap between impulse and awareness, is the only space in which a choice can live. This morning, before your eyes fully opened, your hand found your phone. You were pressing the lever before you decided to. That was not you failing. That was the game running exactly as designed. But you are reading this now. You are a rat who learned to see the box. And somewhere in that 30,000-year-old brain of yours, the part that survived because it never stopped looking for a better move, that part is already asking the only question that matters. What game do you actually want to play?